I mean, when I was a kid, I think I wanted to be in Dragon Ball Z, if you know what that anime is. I see some people laughing and smiling, so hopefully you guys get the reference. But I'm pretty sure that I wanted to be like Goku. Um, but yeah, that's what I'll say on that side. But I think, if your next question was going to be, what would I be doing instead of doing Ani if I were to do something else? Um, it's probably start another company, maybe in the tech space, right? So another tech company, or it would be being mayor of New York, which I'm probably going to run for in like 8 years, to be honest with you. So that'll hopefully come to fruition.
Um, in the tech space, is it more? I'm not a huge fan of that word, like creative, because I feel like that's so broad. What people
Hmm.
could be creative, I think be creative is the way they approach math, right?
Yeah.
But is it more that you would be doing something like you just said, anime? Would you be something more in that illustrations, anime, creative part, or is it more of the what you built like with Ani, which is more of the well, help me out here. What is Ani and what is different than that? It's not creating anime, obviously. It's an app, and it's by the way, it's available to all our members for those on the call that are members. Uh,
Yes, I was going to mention that whenever you ask, how has the chamber helped you and sort of how you, so, what do you, however you leverage the chamber, but we can get to that later on. So to answer your question, in terms of any next company, it would definitely be in the technology space, or most likely be in the technology space. Focusing on, again, how to basically leverage technology and its scalability to help, you know, customers do XYZ. I'm being a bit vague here because I do have this idea for the hospitality space, which I thought of like probably 2.5 years ago, but I've had no time to execute against it. But because Ani, in essence, is a technology platform, and we can go to it later on, but basically providing access to experiences like museums and Broadway shows and Yankees games, etc. I'm always thinking about, how do you bring people together through technology? How do you enhance experiences through technology? So that's really what we're focused on quite a bit. And I think if I were to do something else in the tech space and start a new company, it would be not the same exact thing, obviously, but something in this in-person engagement, leveraging technology to connect people, etc.
so let's just pause for a sec on that and go back a bit, just for those that are new to Ani and haven't. We have announced our partnership, I think, last summer. But for those that maybe missed those emails or those e-blasts, um, speak a little bit about what Ani is, not just for chamber members that they have
Yeah.
the complimentary membership as part of our partnership, but how what is it? Why is it important? Why did you create it?
Yeah. Yeah. So let me start with maybe the sort of Ani founding story. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay, great. So basically, founded Ani because I was working at Google at the time. And of course in their Chelsea office. So was working at Google. Google's known as having some of the best benefits and perks and all these programs on the planet. And when I was there, it's funny, we had this third party sort of perks and benefits provider. I won't say the name. And if you're saying, oh, I know who it is, it was a different one than they have now. So that's just, no shade on anyone. But it wasn't very good, right? It was like, hey, get this restaurant deal. And I was like, oh, how do you use the deal? And it was like, write this code on the receipt. I'm like, there's no way that's going to work when I go to that restaurant. Like, there's no chance. So I started to think to myself, how could I build something that is more seamless, more tech forward, hopefully more interesting for people that will be, using it? Because when I looked at the website of this company, Microsoft and Apple also used this product, and I thought these are the biggest tech companies on the planet. Maybe I can build something better. So that was really the inciting incident of wanting to start Ani. And the big thing for us was realizing that the benefits at Google, specifically these sort of cultural access benefits, these are the benefits that allow you to go to places like the Whitney or the MoMA or the Guggenheim for free by flashing your corporate ID. Similar benefits at companies like JP Morgan or Goldman or Bloomberg, these very large, very profitable companies. I was speaking to an HR leader at Google, and she was like, "Oh, you know that this sort of category benefit is our second most utilized voluntary slash ancillary benefit, only behind the parental support benefit category." So I thought, well, given that everyone that wants to have a child and has a child at Google uses these benefits, that means these cultural access experiential benefits must be pretty highly utilized. So that's really what Ani's goal is how do you replicate the benefits of a Goldman, Google, massive, AM Law, 20 law firm. How do you replicate those benefits through technology and through some of our partnerships, and then provide that to much smaller organizations? So Ani, first and foremost, is actually a corporate benefit platform. So we provide access to experiences as a corporate benefit, where a lot of our corporate clients they actually will add dollars to the employees' accounts, almost like an experiential stipend. So you'll download the app, you'll have $300 waiting for you, and now you can use that to go to MoMA or Guggenheim or Whitney, like someone at Google or Goldman. But in fact, you can also use it to go to a Broadway show or to a Yankees game. And I'll talk about this later when you ask, but we are expanding into some new categories that should be pretty cool. But again, really focused on the experiential piece. And the other piece for the corporates that we work with is the reason that they get Ani is yes, it's a cool benefit. Yes, it's a way to compete against larger companies for talent. Because even if you're laying people off, quite frankly, if you're at a steady state or you're rapidly growing, you need to keep the top people that you have, right? So, attracting and retaining talent is super important no matter what stage of business that you're in. And the other thing I'll say is because it's a technology platform, we build technology that you can invite your colleagues to experiences, right? So it's that way of building community internally, yes, through an app, but focused on in real life, right? Getting people off the screens and in person at a museum or at a game or at a show. So that's where we really pride ourselves on.
So in a way, you kind of repurposed a benefit that only the big boys like Golden Specs that have great benefit packages to make it really so you can create a community amongst of small businesses essentially that can say, hey, I want to
Exactly. Yeah.
connect with this supplier, with William, who provides shipping for my pet store or whatever, and we can go to a Rangers game rather than a bar, which is also another great place to network.
Yeah.
But something more experiential, something more about or culturally relevant. So
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
that's
I
it in a
mean,
nutshell.
yes, yeah, definitely. And the one thing I haven't mentioned is yes, there's the ability to, of course, add dollars to your employee's account. There's the ability to use Ani software to gift your employees, whether it's rewards because of a job well done or anniversary. Again, focus on experiences. But the other pieces, and this is probably relevant to people that are on the call that are a part of the Chamber of Commerce, is the app also inherently provides discounted access. So even if you don't have dollars from your corporation, by the way, everyone on the call, you do have access to Ani because Jesse is an Ani client. Well, the Chamber and Jesse are an Ani client, you at least get discounted access to all these things, whether it's anywhere from 10 to 35% off. So always a benefit there, and you get cashback rewards too.
So we've got only a minute or so left. We got to some of the questions. We didn't get to all of them. But what is it's like launching an app like this in New York City? What is the I mean, New York City, lots of cultural institutions, lots of sports teams, things like that to follow. But what was a challenge of launching something like that here?
Yeah, so I don't, okay, well, okay, so challenge here. I'll do a quick two-part. Challenge of New York is that there's lots of ways to go, right? So you may be pulling your intentions and your focus may be pulled in many different directions. There are all these networking groups happening. There are all these events, all these institutions, all these people to meet. So being able to focus is really important. I think that skill set of focus and prioritize. And the other piece, at least specifically for me, starting this business overall, was that although there are a bunch of opportunities, which is good, I personally had no network in HR or culture or experience or art or any of those things. So I was really building a business with no background in it, which is beneficial in some cases, but usually not beneficial in most cases. But I will say the benefit of New York is you're able to leverage the sort of craziness of the city to build lots of those networks and meet those folks.